This episode is all about Panda, and Panda is an absolute badass. Okay, we haven't really gotten to see Panda really throw down before this episode, but my goodness, is this guy insane. So, we finally got confirmation on who Panda is. I want to talk about Panda as a character and also his opponent in this episode, Mechamaru. Jujutsu Kaisen does a great job of expanding on the characters and such, but for the most part, this series has been about Yuji, Itadori Yuji. It's been about him learning how to use cursed energy and fighting against the monsters, and him and Junpei and his mentors and everything, which I've absolutely loved. I think Yuji as a character is phenomenal. He's a fantastic protagonist, but I also think it's super cool how we're starting to branch off and start to see these side characters in action. If you don't know, I love side characters, and so I loved just getting an entire episode on Panda. Now, we'll get to that in a second, because I say that, but the opening still starts with Todo and Yuji, the best duo in anime, fight me. So it's so cool seeing Todo, who clearly wants somebody to fight him on his caliber, right? He wants someone who can not only relate to him with his womanly desires, let's say, but also someone who can match him as far as combat goes, and someone who can give him that spark, He wants someone who can rival him in some ways and inspire him, and Yuji is the perfect person in both of those areas, and it's really cool seeing Todo not really care about what his team wants, but instead try to teach Yuji to be a better fighter, and therefore he can treat him as more of an equal. So that opening was fantastic. I love how he still calls him best friend, I hope he never stops doing that. It's fantastic. I about died when they were training, and then we got the freaking flashbacks of last episode's imaginary scene. It killed me, bro. I was like, really? We're getting flashbacks of the thing that never happened? Fantastic. So then we jump right into Panda versus Mechamaru, which is about 80% of this episode, something like that, or more. And Panda, first of all, is extremely smart. So when he's talking to the witch girl, I don't know her name, he's saying things, and she's talking to Nobara, and the witch girl figures out that Panda is the one who figured out the plan with the principal and how the principal wants Yuji to be killed. And right off the bat, the fact that the witch girl knew that about Panda, and the fact that Panda really did figure that out, shows us A, Panda is really smart, and B, everyone knows he's really smart, or they were able to deduce that. And we find out this episode that Panda is a cursed corpse. Now, maybe I'm getting the terminology wrong, but I believe that's what they called him, a cursed corpse. Meaning, he's not really a panda. Panda isn't even really alive, and this really kind of threw me off, I just figured, all right, Panda, he's a panda who got cursed powers and it made him intelligent. No, Panda isn't even alive, technically, right? Now, you can debate that, because in this episode, the puppet teacher guy, I don't know his name either, but the guy who was able to turn inanimate objects into living beings or whatever, temporarily, right? He's the one who sort of raised Panda, is what it looks like here. And he called him one of his finest creations, or his finest creation, and because he's a cursed corpse who was born with emotions, which fascinates me. And of course, he is so smart and intelligent, and it seems like he grew up, we saw him as a baby and as a child, and he really did grow up, so it seems like he's alive in some way, but perhaps just not in the way that humans are alive or animals are alive. And this tied in really well with his opponent, Mechamaru, and I really liked this because I had heard that these two were gonna fight, and I was like, oh, okay, we'll see how that goes, but I didn't really expect that because Panda isn't really alive, and Mechamaru, we find out, is someone who, he isn't a robot, he's actually something that is being controlled by someone who was born with missing limbs and with piercing pain all over his body, and he's not able to feel below his legs, and it's terribly sad, and we get to sort of see this similarity between them, which Mechamaru kind of dislikes. Mechamaru is someone who he wishes, he was born that way, but in turn he was gifted with high cursed energy, and he can use it at a distance, but he said he would trade that in an instant just to have a body, and that clashes directly with Panda. And I love Panda's words to him after their fight. It's really it does a great job of establishing these two as side characters within this world. But now let's get to the meat and potatoes, right? Panda is an absolute badass. Okay, this guy is insane. So there was a point in the episode, I didn't really pause it, but it was a point where Panda pulled up his own chart in his head of where he thinks everybody stands. And Mechamaru was really up there, and Panda was a couple notches below him, right? Panda Panda, we know, is experienced and people regard him as pretty strong, but he just went ham in this episode. Like, I know in the opening he's doing that little like crazy thing and it's like, oh, Panda, what you doing there? I did not expect this. Okay, Panda can basically transform. And he has 2 other cores inside of him. So as a cursed corpse, he has this core, but apparently he has a brother and a sister inside of him that he can sort of transform into, or he can like merge with them and change form. He can change shape. One of those is his older brother, a gorilla. Now, I have theories about this. I have a feeling that the older brother and older sister must be some kind of like failed experiments, right? Like by the puppet guy. Maybe he tried to create a cursed corpse with emotion, but maybe something went wrong. Maybe they died, or maybe they weren't born with emotion, or there was something going on. And so the puppet guy like used them as a base or as another core to create Panda. Maybe it's hard to create a cursed corpse. It's obviously hard with emotion, and maybe he needed 3 cores to do so. And that's why he calls them his brother and sister, right? Now, what's super cool too is we don't know who his older sister is or what kind of animal that is, so that's kind of saving the surprise. I'm really glad he did that. I have no idea what it could be, but I'm kind of excited to see eventually what that could be. But it's so cool because Panda is all about balance, right? He's fast, he's strong. Gorilla form is all about power and like raw strength, and it's so insane getting to see him just absolutely throw down in his gorilla form. I loved it. It was so cool getting so much attention and shine on someone like Panda, who was sort of just in the background and kind of comic relief, you know? We got to see him be smart here and there, but it was so cool seeing him take the spotlight, and the way it ended with him saying those nice things to Mechamaru and being like, hey, you know what? I'm scared of humans, you know, or like, he was like, you know, I don't even want to be human. And he was like, you're just fine the way you are, and why would I care about what you look like, you know, and all those things. And he was asking for his phone at the end. I don't know if he wants to like trade numbers, or maybe it's something to do with the whole competition that's going on. But I just thought that was so cool, and I loved spending an entire episode on it. Sometimes anime, when they focus on side characters, it's, you know, a scene or like 5 minutes or something. But this was like genuinely 15 minutes of Panda and Mechamaru. And I loved it, you know, and it's cool that we're getting to see more and more from these Kyoto students, I believe is where they're from. They're sort of like the class 1B, kind of like, you know, My Hero. But I like that, unlike My Hero, or at least where I am in the anime, unlike that, like these other students are seeming to get more screen time and more character. And I love the way that it's being executed in the anime. I think it's fantastic. I want to see how Mechamaru grows as well. I hope that he gets more screen time. I hope that he can eventually come to terms with who he is, you know, and maybe start modifying his cursed energy and maybe the suit that he uses and everything. I think that'd be super neat. And then the episode ends with Maki, a teaser showing Maki about to freaking throw down against the blue-haired girl. I don't know her name. I'm sorry. I'm still learning the names. The girl with the sword, you know, she seems pretty cool. She's like hiding her technique or whatever. I really want to see these two throw down, and it looks like we're going to next episode. And Maki's interesting because she's someone who can't even use cursed energy. She's just a master of like weapons, I believe is what was implied. She has to wear her glasses to even see cursed monsters and all that, you know, cursed spirits. So overall, this episode is phenomenal. I'd give it like a 9 out of 10 at least. I thought it was fantastic. The fight even was just so cool. Studio Mappa went all out for this fight. They didn't hold back, and it was just hype. So cool. And I'm really excited for next episode. I love getting to see these clashes in this sort of tournament style thing. So I'm excited to see where it goes with Maki and the blue-haired girl. I have a feeling that all the comments are going to be you guys clarifying the names, and you know what? I am not complaining. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna try to make more Jujutsu Kaisen content going into the future, maybe even weekly. So if you want to see more of that, then definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'll try to release them weekly, but we'll definitely see about that. Tons of anime content here on the channel. I'm trying to expand and grow from just Tower of God and Webtoons to more anime and manga and start covering more things like that. So definitely subscribe if you want to stay tuned for that. All right, guys, I'll see you in my next Jujutsu Kaisen video. Take care.